What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for clicking on today's video. And I've got a fucking decent gameplay for you today, lads. I got a damn good kill streak in this game. I think it was only like my 5th or 4th game on domination. Straight fire, I'm going to be honest with you. So enjoy the gameplay and let's jump into the video. So, you know, I'm the first person that will tell you if a game sucks. It seems some of you don't fucking believe that. Oh, Harry, you're stuck in the cock. Fuck off, Ray. Fuck off, mate. I am the most honest critic when it comes to video games there has ever been. Yet some people in the comments are saying I'm a shill for Activision. How the fuck can you honestly say that with how many subs I've got? Which is so small. Like they'd pay me to fucking promote the game. And even if they did, I wouldn't accept that. You know that from all the videos I've made in the past, slating off Black Ops 3, slating off Ghost, slating off COD World War 2, I don't think I'd be the best shill for them, considering my past with Call of Duty games. Yes, I'm a long-time fan, but I've been a long-time critic as well, so before you leave stupid comments like that, maybe do some research into the background of my channel and what got me any sort of notoriety in the first place on YouTube. Do you know what that was? It was my COD World War 2 video, which went, I'd say semi-viral. It got 500,000 views, and it was me slating off the game. Not saying it's the best thing since sliced bread, boys. I think you need to go and buy this. It was my impression of the shitty fucking female soldiers in that game, which got me tons of comments and tons of likes and tons of dislikes from guess who? The COD cocksuckers. So, yeah, lads, before you leave stupid comments like that, please do a bit of research into my channel. It'd be thoroughly appreciated. Right, with that aside, let's talk about some juicy stuff that I've seen on Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Now, this is the most fun I've had on a Call of Duty game I can personally remember, and I'm not even at my own setup. I'm at my mum's and I've just plugged my PC straight into my stepdad's computer, monitor. And I'm really enjoying it. Ground war feels refreshing. Domination, with it being slightly bigger, 10 vs 10, is more interesting, as you can see from the gameplay. Yes, camping is encouraged more in this game. I prefer that to the bullshit Rambo style game modes which we're used to and gameplay. But it seems that some people are like, oh my god, it's so campy. I mean, 8 Forts is saying the game is objectively worse. Dude, honestly, now, I've watched your content for ages, but shut the fuck up. You've complained for years and years saying you want a modern Call of Duty that's not fucking jetpacking. It's got a good gameplay. Wanted a new engine. We've got a new engine. The gameplay is better. He even said the gun sounds sounded like they've been in a puddle or something. They're like, of this weird pop. No, they don't. If you ever listen to any live firearms, they sound fantastic. The gun sounds in this are the best out of any first-person shooter I've ever played. The gun sounds in it are phenomenal. They're better than Battlefield's. And I've never ever said a shooting game has ever had better sounds than Battlefield. But this year, Infinity Ward, I've done a good job. They finally beat Battlefield in gun sounds, and gun sounds in Call of Duty have always been a weak point, and so has the engine. They've addressed both of those, and now the people who, those are like the two things they want to fix, are still hating on the game. Now, I'm just a fair person. They've improved on the aspects I slated it off in previous games. So how can I, objectively, say that this game is shit? It's not. I'd be lying if I said this game was shit. It's not, lads, and I think you should buy it. If you're an old school Call of Duty fan and you wanted some refreshing change, this does that. Yes, it's not the best game of all time, but it set the pace correct. From future Call of Duty games going forward can only get better if they follow the formula that Infinity Ward has set out. Now, I just wish Sledgehammer Games weren't involved anymore, and it was just Treyarch and Infinity Ward, because Sledgehammer make the shittest games, let's be fair. Advanced Warfare and COD World War 2. Fucking awful games. Awful. And not to mention, Advanced Warfare was the one which introduced the microtransaction bullshit in the first place. So I'll never like Sledgehammer, lads. But with my rants aside on fellow YouTubers and critics alike, I really wanted to focus my energy on something which has been, honestly, it's making me laugh. So, you know how on Metacritic and OpenCritic you've got critic reviews and then you've got user reviews. Now, I usually think lots of the critics have been paid off, but you look at Call of Duty Modern Warfare, And the Metascore, which is based on 27 critics, is at 85. That feels like a truthful amount of reviews. Now, 26 positive, I don't see why they could give it a negative, unless they were just easily offended SJWs that were scared of all the how it's dabbling in terrorism and things in the campaign and the gore's back. Then they could maybe complain and they give it a negative review. But they haven't. It's got 1 mixed review and 26 positive, and the mixed review is someone who's scared. They're scared of how it's dabbled in things in the single player, like I've just said, and they think the launch was shit. The launch was crap, but I didn't play it on launch day, so I didn't have to suffer like everyone else did. But then you look at the user reviews, and it's 542 positive, 30 mixed, and 1,343 negative reviews. Now, bear in mind, this is for the PlayStation 4 copy, and I thought, whoa, fucking hell, I'm a long-time Call of Duty player, and I actually enjoy this game. So how can they justify giving it a negative review? Are these just hardcore Battlefield fanboys? They're just hardcore haters? So I thought, I'll read some of the reviews. So I read some of them, and I'm going to read some of them to you now. And it's fucking ludicrous. Honestly, lads, I'll piss in myself reading some of these comments. Oh wow, another shot in the back cash grab with virtually no effort put into quality considering the same game but with a different skin, like every year. Dude, no it's not. It honestly isn't, you fucking retard. I can't believe I'm sticking up for Infinity Ward or Activision here, but this game feels completely different to Black Ops 4, and you're telling me that it doesn't? It's got a single player, they've got rid of zombies, they've not just slammed in zombies like every single fucking year. We've got Spec Ops. The only thing which I disagree with is this timed exclusivity bullshit with PlayStation getting one of the Spec Ops modes first, and then other platforms not getting it till a year after release, by which point Call of Duty is rendered useless and the new one will have come out. Aside from that, how the fuck is this the same as the rest? Ground War's completely different. They've upped the player size, it's got vehicles, all the weapons feel better, it's got a new engine. These are just hardcore haters, and it is actually hilarious that people consider me a hardcore hater no matter what Sledgehammer did. They said I was hating. No. I hate when it's warranted. These dickheads are just leaving reviews because they hate Call of Duty. When they've not bought the game, they've probably just watched a couple of gameplays on YouTube and left this bullshit. Look for yourself, lads, on Metacritic at the reviews and you will be pissing yourself. And then, I'd say around 1,000 of the reviews are crying because Russians are the enemies. Now, ask yourselves this. If you've played the single player, they've made up a country, they've made up a militia in that country which are fighting to keep the Russians out. If they make up another country that they're going to war with, how realistic or believable is that campaign going to be? It's not going to be fucking realistic. Do you know why the Russians are the enemies? Because out of all the countries in the world, it's based on the US, this campaign, near enough. It's got SAS in it as well, and you've got militia in Uzbekistan, I think it is, which is a made-up country. But which country are the US most likely going to go to war with? If we had to base it on facts, which one have they had tensions with back and forwards for absolutely years? And the 2016 presidential election was based around lots of that controversy. Russia. Ask yourself that simple question. So, shall we make a game about them going to war with Germany? Not realistic. Never going to happen. The UK? Never going to happen. Italy? Never going to happen. Japan? Never going to happen. Australia? Never going to happen. New Zealand? Mongolia? Kazakhstan? The list could go on and on and on and on. Oh, Argentina. They're never going to go to war with any of those countries. They've got no problems. The only two which they could possibly ever end up going to war with is Russia and Japan. And if you look at Russia's past, have they invaded countries? Yes, they invaded Kazakhstan. And this game is set in the fucking Middle East. So why would it make sense for them to put the Chinese as villains? Have they ever been into the Middle East and started conquering? No. China just oppressed their own people. It's like it's a fucking it's a communist country. Russia is not a communist country, but they meddle in every other person's affairs, much like the US. So all these idiots leaving reviews saying it's unrealistic, they're going to war with Russians, just let's stop making Russians as evil people. It's a fucking game, you imbeciles. It's a game. and you're crying about the main villains. And no doubt these will have been the same people that'll cry when a game is set in World War II and the Nazis are the fucking enemies. Well, no shit, the Nazis were the fucking evil ones in World War II, but oh, we can't put them as the villains, no. We should be wanking off Hitler and giving him a personal rim job. They're fucking stupid. Honestly, lads, no matter what game comes out, the best game of all time could come out tomorrow, which let's say it's The Witcher 4. And they absolutely perfected everything. The storytelling's fantastic, the map's fantastic, everything is just fantastic. Graphically, it's the best looking game of all time. And some little wanker sat in his mum's basement and say, "Not enough porn. I didn't get to jack off enough to this game." I'm sick of reading this shit. As someone who truly loves good video games and loves when they're done correctly, I finally feel like we've got a Call of Duty which is a solid 8.5, 9 out of 10. And we've still got little wankers looking for these little holes so they can make content or leave reviews on the game, slagging it off. And I've seen that with lots of COD YouTubers slagging it off when it is actually the first good Call of Duty in years. But because they can't make content on anything else apart from slagging off Call of Duty, that's all they're fucking doing. And we've actually got a solid foundation for Call of Duties for years to come. The only bad thing is the timed exclusivity bullshit. Price of the game is quite expensive, but that's to be expected with every AAA game. And microtransactions, they're the only downsides. Campaign, 6 hours, could be longer, but then you've got multiplayer which has tons of game modes, tons of different customization options. You've got the co-op campaign, and people are still weeping their eyes out. It's fucking hilarious, lads. Hey lads, let me know if this is just me or if you all feel this way. Because I know lots of you watching my channel now will be like, "Oh Harry, I can't believe you're praising COD." I enjoy it. I know lots of you found my channel from COD World War II and I didn't like it. But I've always said I'm the most truthful person you will ever meet on YouTube. If I like a game, I'll say I like it. And Warfare, who's one of my favourite YouTubers, has finally recommended this Call of Duty, saying it's the best one in like 6 or 7 years. He's not recommended or liked any of the previous ones, but he's recommending this one. Does that not tell you something, that this game actually is good if people are liking it, like me? And like Warfare, who generally don't like the games because they've been taking this awful, awful direction into scripting bullshit, over-the-top explosions, and just generally awful multiplayer. But it's a step in the right direction, yet people are still crying their eyes out. Just to emphasise on my previous point, by saying there's no scripting in single player, I watched Warfare's video and he said in the full campaign, which is around 6 or 7 hours, he didn't have one moment of scripting where it takes control out of your hands. I'm halfway through it now and I've not experienced any. But for example, like in COD World War II, where you're driving the Jeep and you're chasing that train, the train flies off the tracks and about 9 or 10 carriages manage to miss you and your dude's just sat there with his arms out like, "Holy fuck, I can't believe it didn't hit me." There's none of that bullshit. There's none of that shit with all these explosions are going off and it takes it out of your hands and your dude's just like shooting here and then, or someone punches you in the face and then some other soldier grabs you and goes, "Get up soldier, you're alright." There's none of that shit. There's none of that shit. For once it doesn't feel like you're watching a film. You're actually in control of your character all the time. So they must be listening. The amount of people that took the piss out of COD World War II for that ridiculous train mission, and the amount of times it took the game out of your hands. You'd be at the end of a mission, it's like you've played all the mission for no fucking reason, because at the end it's just some cutscene you can't control. Yes, there's cutscenes in this game, but they're not in the middle of gameplay. Like, you'd be halfway through a mission and then it just takes it out of your hands and a cutscene starts playing where someone's shooting something or you get beat up. And that's happened in Call of Duty for so many years, and it's just got worse and worse and worse, and they've took more and more gameplay away from you. Thankfully, this year, I haven't experienced that as of yet. And I'll trust Warfare when he says he hasn't experienced it in the full campaign. And he actually enjoyed the campaign by 1 or 2 missions of filler, which I think I've just done one of the missions of filler, and it were a bit shit. But most of the campaign is good. It's the best campaign in years. But we're still going to get people slating it off. At the end of the day, it's a Call of Duty game. And they've made massive improvements to make Call of Duty enjoyable and bring old school players back. I did not, for any length of time, think I'd enjoy this game as much as I have. I just thought it's gonna be one of them games. I'm gonna buy it 40 quid, which I can barely afford. and just one of them circumstances where I buy the game and I'm like, oh, I can't be wasting money on this for a fucking YouTube video. Because obviously YouTube earns me, don't mean the fucking £40 back. I'm lucky if I get that in a fucking year. So the fact I buy them to review, I'm like, please be good as well. And it actually is good. If it wasn't, I'd tell you what it wasn't, because I could just make tons of videos slaying it off like lots of these other YouTubers are doing. But it's good, lads. My main point is don't trust the negative reviews. Metacritic is full of fucking sad little bastards. Lots of Russians as well, saying I can't believe Mother Russia's the enemy again. It's a video game. Don't take it too seriously. These are the same people that would take the piss out of people for getting offended over everything. Yet they're getting offended over the opposing faction in a single player campaign in a video game. These are the same people that would punch people who run around with gay rights flags in Russia because they're against gays, yet they're crying because someone's made Mother Russia the enemy. Are you sure you're not still brainwashed into communism? Are you sure you're crying over Russia being the enemy, but you hate when gays or anything, or SJWs, as you call them, protest? I don't get offended by anything, lads. You're entitled to your own opinions, but these people make me fucking laugh, lads, honestly. It's fucking hilarious. Anyway, boys, if you did enjoy the video, hit thumbs up. If you didn't, hit dislike and let me know why in the comments. Just don't be a sour little bitch. Subscribe if you haven't already, because I'll try and make daily Call of Duty videos. I love you all, and I will see you all in the next one. Stay frosty, lads, and don't get offended over everything. Don't cry your eyes out.
That she love me, but it's hard to believe, cause I'm coming and going, I mean I come then I leave. And I swear I'm really not that shady, but you can't blame me for who I've met lately. Nowadays chicks wanna call a kid baby as soon as they find out I rap, shit's crazy. But I do play along, yo, I can't front. I give in to every groupie with a fat butt.